Hello, everyone, and welcome to LeafLink. We are the cannabis industry's wholesale marketplace. In today's training, we're going to be covering how to add in your inventory, building your CRM, and we're going to wrap up with how to create and process orders on LeafLink. So when you first get logged in, you're going to notice this purple navigation panel over here on the left-hand side. And we're actually going to kick things off today by starting here within our settings. So there's a handful of settings that you're going to want to make sure are completed before you're live on the marketplace, and we're going to highlight 3 of those today. Starting with your company information and account structure. So at LeafLink, you'll have the opportunity to include your business-related information, and whether you're a single brand account or a multi-brand account, you'll be able to include your brand-related information. So your company info is who you're doing business as and selling as on the marketplace. So you'll be able to include your website, your employer identification number, and we can drop in a description here. So I see a lot of companies that will just copy and paste whatever they have in their About Me section and drop it into this description box. But you can make it as short and sweet or as long as detailed as you want. It's completely up to you. As we scroll down, we're going to see our address section here. Now, if you do not want this to be displayed to your buyers on LeafLink, we're simply just going to unselect this box right here and nobody's going to know that you're here. Next, we have a section where you're able to upload your logo. So definitely get a company logo updated. We have an area for you to put in all of your business information, as well as systems that you're currently using with LeafLink. And then at the very bottom, we have developer access. So we have an open API here at LeafLink. So if you wanted a web developer to build out an integration, or maybe you already have some external softwares that you want to add to your ecosystem with LeafLink, you do have the ability to integrate. And some of the most common that I see are Metric, QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, Flourish, and Distro. If you have any of those integrations that you would like to get set up, just send a note to your onboarding manager and they can get you through to those next steps. Also, something to highlight here is we're going to want to make sure that we're pressing the save button after every change that we make on these setting tabs, because this is not autosave. So we're going to want to make sure that this saves and all of our information is there the next time we hop on. All right, the next tab over is users. All right, so this is how you're going to add your team to your account. And keep in mind, you can add up to 25 users. And to add a user, we're going to come over here to add users, and you're going to see create new and invite existing. So most of you will be creating new user accounts, but maybe you do have somebody that works with another LeafLink account. So instead of them having 2 logins, you can actually invite them using the existing email that they're already using on their existing LeafLink account. Or maybe you have a buyer and a seller account. Instead of having to log in twice, you can just add that user's email, and then over here on the top left, you'll be able to toggle back and forth between those 2 accounts. But for this situation, we're just going to go ahead and create new. So you'll need to add in first name, last name, email, as well as position at the company. Now, as we scroll down, we're going to see some permissions here. And something that I want to highlight first is admin. So not everyone in your LeafLink account will be an admin. Your admin is going to be your gatekeeper. So they're the people who will have access to your settings and are a point of contact for your employees. Now, just because someone has the admin permission enabled doesn't mean that they get all the additional permissions. You can pick and choose what your admins get visibility into. Now, something else to highlight here is the definition of all of these permissions. And this is an area where I like to call out our help center, because when you're looking at this page, there's clearly not a ton of information about what these permissions mean. So in the bottom right-hand corner of your dashboard, you'll have a little blue help bubble right here. I don't have it on this account because this is our training account, but all of you will have it on your accounts. Now, I love to call this out right here because this is going to be a direct link to our Knowledge Center. And you can type in any keyword or phrase, and any help guide that has that keyword or phrase will then populate for you to pick from. We have tons of articles in there that break down everything that I'm going to go over today. And a place I always suggest people using it is adding in users and user permissions. Towards the bottom here, we're going to see data control. And this button is also explained within the Help Center, but this button basically says I have multiple sales reps that are going to be using LeafLink, and I don't want them to have insight into each other's book of business. So it keeps their CRM separate. Next, we're going to hop over into our Brands tab. All right, so these are our training brand pages here. Now, when y'all log on to LeafLink, some of you will see one brand here, some of you are going to see 5 brands here. It really just depends on your business. And please keep in mind, if you ever need to add additional brands to your account, each brand you add will be an additional $99 per month. So just a heads up there. But each brand will have a menu. So on the left-hand side, you'll see this little preview menu button here. Now, I really recommend using these the entire time that you're building out your LeafLink menu when it comes to adding in products. Frequently check over this because this is exactly how the buyers will see your page on LeafLink. But if we ever need to update any brand settings or make any edits, we're going to go to Settings, Brands, and we're going to come over here to Edit. Now, from within this page, we're going to see brand-specific information such as the name, tagline, brand announcement, and we'll be able to drop in a brand description here. Similar to that last tab that we were on, you're going to be able to drop in some address information. And then you'll be able to upload your logo and your brand banner down here as well. All of those sizing requirements are going to be listed right here. And if you do have a social media presence and you want to add your social handles to LeafLink, you can drop these in here and they will appear on your LeafLink menu. All right, so as you're setting up your account, you're also going to want to make sure to run through all of these additional settings up here, such as orders, payment acceptance, notifications, things of that nature. And once you have your settings complete, you'll go back over here to your purple navigation panel, and we're actually going to dive into inventory next. So keep in mind that on LeafLink, we have 3 ways to add in inventory to the platform. You can build out products individually, where you fill in the product details every single time. You can utilize our cloning tool, which is like a duplicator or a save as option. And then you can also use templates. And essentially that's where you standardize, product fields and utilize that template to drop in products. And we'll run through all 3 of those today on our call. But before you start adding products, the first thing that you need to do is create your product lines. Here at LeafLink, your product lines are categories that your menu is broken out into. So if I come across the top here, I'm going to go ahead and select product lines. So as you can see, for each brand that we sell on this account, they come with a variety of different product lines. And adding in product lines is very easy. You'll just click your cursor into this box right here and start typing them in. And if you ever need to edit or remove a product line, you can click the little pen and paper icon or the red trash can to do so. Keep in mind, you can also add up to 15 product lines per brand. And if you ever need to surpass that number, feel free to reach out to your onboarding specialist or your account manager. There's no additional cost to that. But once we have these fields filled out, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be ready to start adding in products. Alrighty, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up here to add new product. Alrighty, so we can see that we have our brand here. We'll go ahead and select our happy hour brand. And now we're going to be able to select our product line. So maybe we want to do a happy hour 1 gram cartridge. Now for the product's name, let's go ahead, let's type in Blue Dream. Now, the reason I'm just putting Blue Dream and not Blue Dream cartridge or whatever it might be is because it's already attached to a product line. So it's going to be organized in your menu, and your customers are going to know what that product is based on the product line it falls under. So you can really just keep that name super simple and just list it as the flavor. Next, we have SKUs. And if you have your own SKUs, that's great. You can go ahead and drop them in here. If you don't, that's okay too. LeafLink will auto-assign you a 20-digit SKU for you, and that's just going to be strictly for your account. You don't have to share that. You won't share that with anyone else on the marketplace. It's strictly going to be related to this product on your account. Right here, we're going to be able to see this product has varieties. So varieties can be utilized when a single product comes in different sizes. So in LeafLink, you would build out your parent product, and then from there, you would build out those additional sizes. And if we scroll down to the bottom of this Add Edit Product page, this is where we'd be able to add in all of those different varieties and sizes of this product. We'll want to make sure that the correct license is selected here. And as we scroll down, we have product specifications. So I'm going to go ahead and select cartridges here. And for our product subcategory, I'm just going to go ahead and select 510 threaded. So it's a cartridge, it's 510 threaded. And now this is where you're going to say, this is how I'm selling my product. Some of you might, sell your products by the individual unit and some by the case. Today, I'm going to show you how to sell by the case. So to do that, I am going to specify that I'm selling by the case by selecting Sell in Multiples. And maybe I want to put in 20 units, saying that I have 20 units per case. And we'll say that the grams per individual unit is 1. Allowing fractional quantities. So fractional quantities can be used directly with regard to weight. So let's say, for example, I was selling a pound of flour. If I allowed fractional quantities, that would actually allow people to purchase inside or outside that whole number of a pound. But keep in mind, this can't be used when you're selling by the case. This can only be used when you're selling by the individual unit. Now, enabling sample requests. Allowing or enabling sample requests is really just that. It's just going to come in as a request. No buyer on the platform can just process a sample for your products. So you'll actually have to do that on their behalf. But you can gauge their interest by keeping the sample request button available on the product level. As we scroll down, we'll see this product launch date here. So this is something that you'll utilize after you're live on the platform. It's just a way for you to list your products as coming soon. But like I said, for now, I wouldn't worry about it because it's not going to be useful to you until you're live. Next, we have statuses. And we have 6 product statuses, and I would really think about these for indicators for how your product is doing in your inventory. So 3 of these are going to be visible to buyers. Those are going to be available, which means a buyer can go to your menu, add that to their cart, and check out. We have back order. So that person could still add this product to their cart on their own LeafLink account, but back order does tell them that you're running low or running out of inventory. You'll probably get a replenishment soon, so you don't want to stop orders from coming in, but there is a chance that submitted orders might not be accepted. And then down here at the bottom, we have unavailable, which your products will still show up on your menu, but it'll say that it's unavailable. There's 3 more statuses. We have archived, which is the equivalent of delete. So on LeafLink, you can't delete any of your products, but you can archive them. Once you archive them, it'll move them off of your active products list and over into your archive tab. If you ever need to unarchive them, you can. You're simply going to go to the archive tab. You're going to hit edit. You're going to change this product status from archived back to available, and it'll move back onto your active products list. The next one is sample. So if you have any products listed under the sample status, they won't be visible on your menu. They're actually only going to be visible to you. And I see people using the sample status if they already have inventory set aside for samples. If you're planning on sampling from your existing inventory, that's totally fine. You don't need to set up sample SKUs. This is really just useful for people that might already have it set aside and allocated. The last one is internal. And internal is great for VIP products, or maybe you have something special. This can be purchased, but you have complete control over who can purchase it, meaning this is only going to be visible to you and your team. You can tell people that you have it available, but somebody can't just go to your menu, shop, and check out. So for this situation, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to select available. That way, this product will go live whenever my account goes live. Next on the inventory docket is our inventory management. So there are 3 ways to track inventory on LeafLink. We have managed, unlimited, and inherited. The first one is managed, and I would say 90% of sellers use managed inventory. So it tracks all of your inventory. It says this is the amount I have, and as orders come in, this will go down. The next one is unlimited, and unlimited basically says I'm not tracking my inventory through LeafLink at all, and this could be risky because you could potentially oversell, but if you're using it alongside your other inventory systems, then that makes sense. And then the last one is inherited, and this one is going to be directly used with bulk flowers set up with varieties. So a quick scenario and example, if you were selling a quarter pound, half pound, full pound, it really wouldn't matter what size is purchased because it's all going to be pulled from that parent product's inventory. So that's what inherited is used for. And for this situation, I'm just going to go ahead and select managed. Like I said, most sellers use managed on LeafLink. So I'm selling by the case of 20. So let's say that I have 100 units available or 5 cases. Now, because I put a case of 20, I'm actually going to say that I want the minimum order here to be 20 as well. That way, our order minimum and our case count matches up. If you would like to put a cap or a max order of units on a specific product, you do have the ability to do so. And then as we scroll down, you can be alerted when your inventory falls below a certain threshold. So if I wanted to set this up, maybe I wanted to get notified if my inventory falls below 30 units. And once it does, LeafLink will notify me, and that way I'm able to replenish that inventory. We're going to continue to scroll, and this is where we're going to be able to add in strain information. So we have over 10,000 SKUs on LeafLink, and we have a ton of different strain information. If you ever come across a situation where maybe you don't see the strain in LeafLink that you're looking for, we do have an area where you're able to build custom strains, and once they're built, you can come back here and associate them with the product that you created them for. So we'll go ahead and select Blue Dream, and as far as the strain classification, we'll go ahead and select Indica. Now, on LeafLink, you have the ability to attach all of your testing results to your products. And the great thing about that is, let's say that someone purchased this Blue Dream cartridge and I had my COA attached. That invoice would be sent to them right away, but also the COA would be sent alongside with it. So it gives them that information right up front. And I will say that keeping those COAs up to date is manual. If you don't think that you're going to have the bandwidth, to go in and update that, I wouldn't really worry about it. I would actually recommend adding in a testing range. So how this works, if I was to select this, is this value a range box? Maybe I know that my product is testing between 82 and 84% THC. I can come in here, I can select my dosage unit, as well as my specification type. And this testing information will live on the product page. So when someone is browsing your menu, they click into this product, they will be able to see this testing range. Next, we have our product details in our description. So just copy and paste, whatever is on your brand website for the specific product and drop it in here. Or if you want to create a completely new description, that's okay too. You do have to put something in here in order to save this product, so I'm just going to go ahead and put test for now. Alrighty, and as we continue to scroll, we're going to see some pricing information. So the wholesale price is just going to be how much you're selling it for by the case. So let's go ahead and enter $1,000. Now, you'll actually see this sale price too. So maybe you're running, a special holiday deal, and you want to give your customers a specific sale price. Let's call it $900. So you'll still see this price listed on LeafLink, but it's going to be crossed out, and you're going to see this sale price listed in red. And this is the price that's going to be honored. Now, this retail price or MSRP option, completely optional. It's really just a recommendation for what dispensaries sell your product at. Cost of goods sold, we are not going to go over today. Now, product packaging and shipping temperature are both completely optional as well. It really just gives you the opportunity to add in some extra detail. We have a specific product packaging tab where you're able to create these product packages. And once you do, they will drop down into this field and you'll be able to select them. And that is on the inventory tab. And then shipping temperature, that's pretty straightforward. We'll be able to select room temperature, cool refrigerated, or frozen. And it looks like I still have varieties selected right here, so it's not going to allow me to add any volume discounts, so I apologize. Let me scroll back down here. Okay, so now this is available. And this is where you can really create buying rules for your customers. Maybe if someone buys 5 cases from you or 100 units, you want to automatically give them a 5% discount. This is where you can add in that type of information. Next, we have our product visibility settings. And first, we have our featured product. So your featured product can literally be whatever you want. And LeafLink requires one on every single menu. It could be your bestseller, something that's on sale, something that you're trying to get rid of. And keep in mind, you can update your featured product as frequently as you want. Sometimes people will just set it and forget it. Other customers, they change it on a monthly or quarterly basis. You can also include a little tagline here. So maybe this featured product has a discount. You can include that information there, and it's going to live at the top of your menu. Your featured product will always be your first product listed on your LeafLink menu. As we scroll down, you do have the ability to show your inventory quantities to your buyers. And I always recommend, people using this on a product-to-product basis. If you're selling a type of product that, flies off the shelves in 7 days, sure, show your inventory quantity because that's going to provide a sense of urgency for these buyers. Otherwise, I don't really think it's necessary. I typically don't see a lot of people showing their inventory. If you're selling a product that maybe takes 3 to 4 weeks to, get off the shelves, then I wouldn't worry about it because it's not going to provide that sense of urgency. Next, we have an inventory tool that I'm a huge fan of. So this tool can actually tell LeafLink to update the product status based on the quantity available. So let's say maybe if I got below 40 units, I would want to move this to back order. So people will still be able to place an order for this specific product if we fall below 40 units. But like I said, back order does tell them that you're running low or running out of inventory. So there is a chance that submitted orders might not be accepted. And then for increase quantity threshold units, let's go ahead and input 41. And once it gets above 41, we can go ahead and move that back to available. So that's how this specific tool works. It's awesome. It automatically updates that product status for you. And I've seen a lot of great success with this. And then down at the very bottom is where we can upload those product images. So you can add up to 5. You can click, drag, and drop and reorganize all of these photos once you have them in here. Let's actually go ahead and upload a file for this. So now we have our product image in there, and all of those sizing requirements are listed right here at the bottom of the page. And so once everything looks good, you can press save, or if you want to see what your product looks like, we can go here and select save and view. Now, from this page, you'll be able to see all of that product information, as well as the product packaging, if you add that kind of thing, the testing results. But yeah, this is where you come to view all of that information. Now we're going to go ahead and get back into our active products tab. As we scroll down, you're going to be able to see all of the products that we have available. And you can actually update their status here by clicking this little drop down, and you can update their status. Or if maybe we want to restock some items, we can always select the restock button. And you probably notice these little action buttons over here. So if we select these, maybe you need to clone, maybe you need to edit, or maybe you just want to track some performance. You can click these actions buttons to do so. And I did tell you that there are 3 ways to add in products to LeafLink. The cloning tool is one of them. And this is like a duplicator or a save as option. You know, one of the great things about cannabis is a lot of products are pretty similar to each other. So, you know, maybe if there was just a few changes that are very minor that need to be made, I could come in here, I could clone this product, and then I could update that product accordingly. The other way to do it is up here on templates. So you can create product templates, and this is a really fast and efficient way for you to come in here and add products rapidly into LeafLink. You're probably going to notice that a lot of these fields here are very similar to that add edit product page. So once you have these bad boys built out, like I said, you're going to be able to add in products very, very quickly. So now as you're building out your LeafLink menu, you're probably curious to how that menu is looking. So like I said, over here in the navigation panel, we have this preview menu button. So if you're ever curious and you want to see how it's coming along, this preview menu button and clicking into one of your menus will really give you a bird's eye view and a look at what buyers are seeing when they pull up your menu. So if we come over here, we click on our happy hour menu. So at the top, we have our brand banner, our logo, all of that brand related information. We can see our featured product, looks like Skywalker OG, and it has those testing results attached. And then we'll be able to see all of the products listed right under their product lines. So we'll see we have our 1 gram shatter listed here, our 500 milligram tincture. So all of your products will be organized by product line on your menu. So like I said, if you're ever curious as to how that looks, simply come to preview menu and you will get a look specifically at your menu and see what the buyer is seeing. All right, so now we're going to shift gears and we're going to start talking about the LeafLink CRM and adding in customers. So here at LeafLink, you guys can add in as many customers into the CRM as needed, and they can be LeafLink customers or non-LeafLink customers. However, before you start adding in buyers, we want to talk about customer statuses. And to get to customer statuses, we can come here across the top and select customer statuses. Now, your customer statuses are going to be those categories that you organize your book of business by. Now, none of these come already built into your account. You will have to create them on your own. So just keep in mind, if you're doing a pipeline, your customer statuses are going to be those pipeline checkpoints. So it's prospect, first outreach made, sample drop off, sample follow up, so on and so forth. What's nice is you guys can add up to 15. And what I really love about this is you can take LeafLink on this evolutionary journey with you. Nothing here is set in stone. You guys can edit these, delete these, and again, you can add up to 15. Now, one of the main reasons why these customer statuses are so important is because the LeafLink CRM can be used as a lead generator. So anytime a LeafLink retailer looks at your menu, they're automatically dropped into the CRM even if they don't buy anything. And the way that you identify those leads is they don't have a customer status attached. Another layer of organization that you're going to have is service zones. So with your book of business, you're able to track by county, distribution zone, sales territories, neighborhoods, so on and so forth. And so with service zones, you can add in those geographic areas for very easy tracking. Now, once you have all of those customer statuses and service zones completed, the next step is adding in your customers. So to add a customer into the CRM, we're going to come over here to the top right-hand corner and we're going to select Add Customer. Now, one thing that I love about LeafLink is the fact that we give you a list of all of the retailers that have buyer accounts with LeafLink in your state. So we can currently see this is a California training account, and we can see that we currently have 1,296 results. And you can go in and you can add as many of those to your CRM as you would like. It's okay, like I said, if a buyer does not have a LeafLink account, you can always come up here and you can add them in manually. But let's say, I'm looking at some of these and I want to add maybe this 420 Central. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select Add Customer. So once we click on that, we're going to give you all of their LeafLink profile information. You can view their company name, their license number, and their license type, as well as their location. Now, keep in mind, this is completely personalized for you. So if you need to update any of this info that you see here, all you have to do is come over here and unselect this box, and you can update that information accordingly. As we scroll down, we're going to see a section called Payment Options. So you can assign payment options to your buyers. If you need to edit your payment options, that'll fall under your Payments tab in your settings. And you'll probably recognize, some of these filters for when you're sorting through your CRM. On a customer level, you can add in standard shipping charges. Maybe this has a specific sales rep attached. You can always come in here. You can update this customer status if you need to. Tiers are optional, but maybe you tier out your customers. And if that's the case, we can go ahead, we can select tiers here. You can attach them to a specific custom menu so they get special custom pricing. And you can also add them to a service zone. So any customer notes that you also want to add, we can go ahead and add right down here. And once everything looks good, we have this profile specifically how we want it, we can go ahead and press Save Changes. All right, and now we're on the customer profile page. So you can also get to the customer profile by clicking into the customer name from within the customer list. So if I'm over here on customers, maybe this 101 N Street dispensary, I want to look at their customer profile. I can click this hyperlink and it's going to take me straight to their customer profile. Now, these first three boxes at the top are going to show you the order history, top products that they're purchasing, as well as products that they've never purchased. As you scroll down, you'll be able to see some of that customer and account information that we added on the previous page. So all of the account info, like the sales representative, maybe there's a specific shipping charge depending on where they're located. Maybe they're attached to a custom menu or have specific delivery preferences. You'll always be able to view those here under account info. Same with customer info. This is just going to be more basic information such as their address, their phone number, email, website. You'll be able to see their license number. Maybe you need to update their customer status. We can do that here as well. If you ever need to add specific contacts, you can add as many contacts as you'd like. It's very simple. It's very easy. And LeafLink is always going to give the primary contact this little person icon right here, and that way you're able to differentiate regular contacts from the primary contact. Now, if they have any specific payment info, you'll always be able to view that information here. And we also have customer credits. So it could be, that you accept returns and you credit customers, or something of that nature, but you can always see what credits a customer has by just looking at their customer profile. They'll always live here for you to see. Next, we have tags, and tags are internal, and it's really just a way for you to indicate who the person is. So, maybe you met this buyer at an event. You could tag them with the name of that event, and once you save that, you can go back into your CRM, search by that tag, and it'll pull up all of those buyers that you met at that event or whatever that tag may be. Towards the bottom, you'll be able to see any recent messages that you have with this buyer right here. And we're also going to give you a little Google map to show you where they're located. That way, if you want to plan a prospecting trip or maybe you're dropping off some samples, you can put a game plan together to go ahead and go do that. Now, towards the top of the page right here, we do have a handful of tabs here on this specific customer profile. So activity, all of your customer profiles will have all of these same tabs, but activities is just for your general note taking. So every interaction your team has with a customer, they're going to be able to log that here. Tasks, this is where you're going to be able to assign tasks or to-dos or reminders to yourself or your team, and it directly relates to the customer. Orders, so this is just going to be the order history of this buyer. Documents, so if you wanted to have a copy of the retailer license attached, you can always upload that here. And then sample requests, they will always have their history here as well. Hopping back into the main customers tab, with the CRM, if we just go back to this, main tab, down below, you're going to have quite a bit of filtering options. And then you're going to have your customer list here below. So let's actually click this arrow right here, and I want to show you that when you click this, it's going to open up a summary of their account. So you can update their status here if you wanted to come and update their status. You also probably noticed these little action bubbles over here. So if you ever need to edit the customer, create an order for the customer, anything that you need to do, these action bubbles give you a lot of capability in this software. Another thing you probably noticed are these icons right here. So if you see this little LeafLink icon here, that indicates that they do have their own LeafLink account. And if you see this icon, that indicates that they do have payments set up with you. So this is a really great way to just get a quick summary of your book of business and look through your customers. Alrighty, so here at the top of the page as well, we have some action bubbles, and if I click on these, we have edit mode. So if you need to, make any edits and quickly update information that you see below, you can do that here. We have bulk reassign. So let's just say maybe you have a sales rep that leaves and you need to go and assign their book of business to a new rep. You can very easily select the old rep and then assign it to the new rep. And then last but not least, we have download CRM. So you have the opportunity to download your CRM. So LeafLink is going to generate a CSV export for you and your team to review, and you can download that information. Something else to call out here within the CRM is the sales funnel. So the sales funnel is a visual summary of your overall book of business, and you can filter out by sales rep or multiple sales reps if you're looking into something specific. Otherwise, this provides your overall account information. So on the right, we have the sales funnel, which is really just a visual diagram of all of your customers and the status that they're assigned to. So as you can see, each customer status, it has its own color, it has its name, and its number right next to it, letting you know how many people are assigned. Over here on the left-hand side, all of these customer statuses are broken into tables, and they have their assigned customers listed below. So you can easily see all of that information over here in this table form as well. Then once you have your CRM created, really the final step in your onboarding is order creation and processing. So if I go back over here to my navigation panel, I'm going to go ahead and go into orders. So all of your orders are going to live here under this orders tab. You have two different types of orders here on LeafLink. We have SGOs, or seller generated orders, and that's where you're going to be placing an order on behalf of one of your buyers. And you also have BGOs, which are buyer generated orders, which is honestly just an organic order. And that's the ideal situation because it's going to free up your time, and that way you're not having to go in and create those orders for them. All right, so there's a couple different ways to plug in an order. Now, keep in mind, none of you will be able to do this until your account is live. You may have tried to hit create order from the orders tab and the screen just kept loading, and it's just because your account isn't live yet. So you can't process orders. So you can start here from within the orders tab, but I always recommend that people start from within the CRM, and I'm going to show you why. So as we scroll down, there's a couple different places that we can go to press create order. The first being over here with these action bubbles, like I showed you earlier, where we can go and hit create order. Or if we click into the customer profile, we can create an order this way. Alrighty, and this is why I always recommend people starting from within the CRM. Because not only can you ensure that you have the correct customer, but you can also ensure that you have the correct location. That way you know for sure this order is going to the correct place. But from here, we can start adding in products. So maybe we want to let's add some Blue Dream, what we just created. Let's go ahead and add 1 case of that. We'll add that to the order. Let's add a few more things. Maybe this Star Dog flour, 1 pound. Maybe we want 3 pounds of that. Let's add 1 more. Maybe these To the Moon tablets. And we want 2 cases of that. So all of these fields where you see a box, you can go in there and edit them if you need to. We can already see that, sales price is listed for Blue Dream because I created that within that product. But if you ever need to run a specific sales price, you can come up here, you can update that field accordingly. And we will always show you the quantity available. So that way you're not ever inputting, more than you actually have. Keep in mind, if you ever need to make any, additional notes for any of these line items, you can come over here. We can select this page with a plus sign. And if you ever need to delete or can any of these items, we can select the trash can. Now let's say that we wanted to add a sample to our account. So what we're going to do is we are going to go over here, maybe this Jilly the Kid flour. What we're going to do is we're going to change case to unit, and we're going to put in the quantity as 1. And we're going to go ahead and add that to the order. And we can go over here and mark that it's a sample. So LeafLink will make those inventory adjustments accordingly. And then, you can change the status, or excuse me, you can change the pricing right here to whatever you want it to be for that sample. Now, as we scroll down, there is a note section right here. And please keep this professional in here because this is externally facing. This is the one place on the platform that your customers will be able to see what you're writing. So please keep it nice and professional in here. I don't want to see, anyone get into hot water with any of their customers. As we scroll down, we're going to be able to see our subtotal. If you want to apply a discount, you can apply a discount. This is a California account, so that's why you're seeing this excise tax here. The total. And here we have those credits that we're able to apply. So if we wanted to apply credits to this order, we can go ahead and select Use Credits. And you can always save this as a draft and come back to it later. So if you're not 100% sure or that this customer is ready for you to submit this order, you can always save it as a draft and come back to it later. Or you can always send it to the buyer for review. And they can give you the stamp of approval if everything looks good. And the other way is to just go ahead and submit it. And that's what we're going to do right now. So once you press submit, it's going to be in the first stage submitted. So really the next step is going to be to either accept or reject this order. But I want to talk through this page a little bit first. So here on LeafLink, just as if you were to order something off of Amazon, you're going to receive that order confirmation. All of your customers on LeafLink will as well. And it'll look something like this. So you'll be able to see all of the seller information, the buyer information, as well as the order details. As we scroll down, we'll be able to see all of the products associated with this order. And at the bottom, we have a place where you can upload additional documents, and if you need to make any internal comments to your team, you can do so here as well. We also have an actions button up here that gives you a ton of capability into this order. Maybe you need to go in and make edits to this order. Maybe you want to print out a PDF of this invoice. Definitely check out this actions button because you have a ton of capability into this order. But I'm actually going to hop back over into our orders tab right now. And you are going to be able to see, here is our order right here. And it is in the first stage submitted. So I just want to discuss, what all we're seeing here. So if we are to click into this order number, it's going to take you back to that order summary page. We see SGO here, so we know that this order was created by either me or someone else on my team. We can go here, if we want to go back to that customer profile, we can click this hyperlink here. We can see the date and time that it was created. We can add a ship date, so maybe we were really trying to be on top of this for this customer and we're trying to get it out the same day. We can see that that ship date was saved. And then we see our balance in total here. Now, like I said, the next step is going to be either to accept or reject the order. So if I come over here, let's just say I was going to reject this order. I can come here and I can put in the reason for rejection and any additional notes that I want to send to this buyer. And keep in mind, when an order is rejected, the customer will always receive an email notification unless we select this box right here. Well, let's just say everything looks good and we're going to go ahead and accept this order. We can see that the order was successfully accepted, and now it's going to be sitting in our fulfillment tab waiting for our fulfillment team. So we're going to come down here to fulfillment. And here it is sitting in our fulfillment queue. So if I come over here and select this arrow, we're going to be able to see all of the different products associated with this order. So as you're going through and packing this order, you can go line item by line item and ensure that everything is packed. And LeafLink is actually going to cross them out as you check them off to make sure that you don't accidentally double pack something. But once all that looks good, we can go ahead and fulfill the order. And now it's going to be sitting in our shipment queue. So similar to that fulfillment tab, if we come over here and press this little plus button, this really gives us a chance to triple check and make sure everything looks good with our order and that the customer is going to be happy with it. And once we do our last minute overlook and we make sure all the details look good, we can go ahead and ship this order. So now, whenever we go back into our orders tab, we're going to see that the order status has updated to shipped. And you can always move things, back down the line if you need to. You do have that capability. But really, the last and final step is complete. And complete means something different to everyone. That could mean that you've been paid. It could mean that the order has been delivered. It could mean both. It really just depends on how you define it. But we do have a couple other areas up here that I want to run through. So if you ever save anything as a draft, it's gonna live here, and you're gonna be able to come in here and update that draft and submit that draft whenever you are ready. And then we have our collaborative orders. So collaborative orders, this is where if we were creating an order and you were to send this to a buyer for review, this is where it's going to live until it's approved by that customer. So that's what collaborative order is. You'll be able to see the status over here. whether it's pending, whether it's been approved, and you'll have all of that necessary information. But all right, so that is pretty much everything we have for you today. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. We're looking forward to working with you, and welcome to LeafLink.